Welcome to today's video about 10 early signs of heart failure after 60. Right now, as you're watching this video, 6.7 million Americans are living with heart failure, and here's the alarming truth. Most discovered their condition only when it had already progressed significantly. Heart failure is most prevalent among adults greater than 60 years old, with the risk of developing heart failure being 20-fold higher among adults 60 years of age and older compared with those under 60. But here's what could change everything for you. The early signs of heart failure don't scream for attention. They whisper, they masquerade as normal aging. They hide behind everyday fatigue and minor discomfort. Yet recognizing these 10 critical warning signs could be the difference between living with manageable heart failure for decades or facing a medical emergency. The statistics are sobering. Heart failure prevalence is projected to rise to 8.7 million by 2030, 10.3 million by 2040, and 11.4 million by 2050. But here's the hope. When caught early, modern treatments can help you maintain an active, fulfilling life. The key is knowing what to look for, and that's exactly what we're about to explore together. Before we dive into these life-saving warning signs, I want to welcome everyone watching today, whether you're a longtime subscriber or discovering our channel for the first time. This community is built on sharing knowledge that truly matters for your health journey. If this information helps you or someone you love, please hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss content that could make a real difference in your life. I'd love to know where our amazing viewers are joining us from today. Drop your city or country in the comments below. It's incredible to see how this health information reaches people around the world, and your engagement helps us create content that serves this community better. Now, let's get into these crucial warning signs that every person over 60 needs to understand. Let's immediately address a dangerous misconception that stops people from seeking help. Heart failure doesn't mean your heart stops beating, that would be cardiac arrest. Heart failure is a complex clinical syndrome that results from any structural or functional impairment of ventricular filling or ejection of blood. Think of your heart as a pump that's been working faithfully for over 60 years. Heart failure means this pump isn't moving blood through your system as efficiently as it should. This happens gradually, often over months or years, which explains why the early signs are so subtle and easily dismissed. Your remarkable body compensates for your heart's decreased efficiency by making adjustments, but these very adjustments create the symptoms we're about to discuss. Heart failure is a common disorder worldwide, with a high morbidity and mortality rate, with an estimated prevalence of 26 million people worldwide. However, the encouraging news is that heart failure is highly treatable when detected early. Modern medications, lifestyle modifications, and medical procedures can significantly improve your heart's function and your quality of life. All right, let's go through the list of early warning signs of heart failure after 60, beginning with number 1, shortness of breath. During normal activities, the most common early warning sign is becoming breathless during activities that never used to challenge you. We're not discussing breathlessness after intense exercise. We're talking about feeling winded while walking to your mailbox, climbing a single flight of stairs, or during routine tasks like getting dressed or showering. Shortness of breath is one of the common signs of heart failure. And here's the mechanism. When your heart pumps less efficiently, fluid can accumulate in your lungs, making oxygen exchange more difficult. Your body compensates by increasing your breathing rate and effort, trying to maintain adequate oxygen levels in your bloodstream. The dangerous assumption many people make is attributing this breathlessness to normal aging. While some decrease in stamina occurs with aging, significant shortness of breath during routine activities is not a normal part of getting older and requires medical evaluation. Monitor this pattern. If you find yourself avoiding activities you previously enjoyed because they leave you breathless, or if family members notice you breathing harder than usual, your heart may be sending an early distress signal that deserves immediate attention. Next, sign number 2, persistent fatigue and weakness. The second warning sign is perhaps the most overlooked, profound, persistent exhaustion that doesn't improve with rest. This isn't ordinary tiredness after a busy day, it's deep, overwhelming fatigue that persists even after adequate sleep and interferes with activities you normally enjoy. When your heart cannot pump blood effectively, your muscles and organs receive insufficient oxygen-rich blood to function optimally. It's comparable to trying to power your entire home with a failing battery. Every system begins operating less efficiently Feelings of fatigue when you are active are commonly reported by people with heart failure. The key distinction between normal age-related tiredness and heart failure fatigue is that heart failure fatigue significantly impacts your daily functioning and doesn't respond to rest or sleep. Many active seniors become frustrated with this exhaustion and attempt to push through it, not realizing their heart is struggling to meet their body's demands. If you're experiencing exhaustion by mid-morning, requiring frequent naps, or feeling like you're moving through thick resistance, this persistent weakness warrants medical evaluation. Next, sign number 3, swelling in legs, ankles, or feet. Here's a warning sign that's both visible and measurable: persistent swelling in your lower extremities that doesn't resolve overnight. When your heart pumps inefficiently, fluid begins accumulating throughout your body, and gravity causes this excess fluid to pool in your legs, ankles, and feet. Swelling in the legs, ankles, and abdomen is a recognized sign of heart failure. This swelling, medically termed edema, often begins subtly. You might notice shoes feeling tighter by day's end, socks leaving deeper impressions on your legs, or rings feeling snug when they never did before. Here's a simple assessment you can perform. Press your finger firmly against your lower leg or ankle skin for approximately 10 seconds, then release. If you observe an indentation that takes several seconds to disappear, this suggests fluid retention. The concerning aspect is that many people dismiss this swelling as normal aging, hot weather effects, excessive salt intake, or prolonged standing. While these factors can cause temporary swelling, persistent edema that doesn't improve with leg elevation or overnight rest is a significant red flag requiring medical attention. Next, sign number 4, rapid or irregular heartbeat. Changes in your heart rhythm provide crucial information about your cardiovascular health. You might notice your heart beating faster than usual even during rest, or experience sensations of skipped beats, fluttering, or irregular rhythms. When heart muscle weakens, it often compensates by beating faster to maintain adequate blood circulation. This is similar to a failing pump working overtime to maintain water pressure. Sometimes you'll perceive this as a racing sensation in your chest, or notice your pulse feels different during routine checks. Irregular heartbeats, called arrhythmias, can develop as heart failure affects your heart's electrical conduction system. You might describe these sensations as your heart skipping beats, fluttering like a butterfly, or beating in an uneven pattern. What makes this particularly concerning is that rhythm changes often occur only occasionally initially, perhaps during physical activity or stress, leading people to dismiss them as temporary. However, if you're noticing changes in your heart rhythm, especially if they're becoming more frequent or noticeable, this requires immediate medical evaluation. Next, sign number 5, persistent cough or wheezing. Here's a sign that surprises many people: a persistent cough or wheezing that appears without obvious cause and doesn't respond to typical cold or allergy treatments. This occurs because as your heart struggles to pump efficiently, fluid can accumulate in your lungs, causing irritation and inflammation. People with heart failure may have a dry, hacking cough. This heart-related cough has distinctive characteristics. It's often worse when lying flat, which explains why many people unconsciously start sleeping with extra pillows. The cough might produce white or pink-tinged phlegm and typically worsens with physical activity. Some individuals develop wheezing that resembles asthma but doesn't respond to standard asthma medications. This cardiac wheezing results from fluid backup in lungs, making airways narrower and more irritated. The dangerous assumption is attributing this cough to developing allergies, a lingering cold, or adult-onset asthma. People often try over-the-counter cough suppressants or allergy medications, or simply ignore the symptom hoping it will resolve independently. If you've developed a persistent cough or wheezing, particularly if it worsens when lying down or during activity, consider that your heart might be the underlying cause. Next, sign number 6, difficulty sleeping, especially lying flat. Sleep disturbances frequently represent one of the earliest heart failure indicators, but they're commonly attributed to other causes. Many people with developing heart failure cannot sleep comfortably while lying flat and unconsciously adapt by sleeping in recliners or propped up with multiple pillows. This occurs because when you lie horizontally, gravity no longer assists your heart in pumping blood back from your lungs and lower body. If your heart is already struggling, lying flat can cause fluid to accumulate more easily in your lungs, creating breathlessness or a suffocating sensation. People with heart failure might notice they need to get up more and urinate during the night. You might find yourself awakening, gasping for air, or experience difficulty falling asleep unless you're sitting up or significantly elevated. Some people describe feeling like they're drowning when attempting to lie flat. Many individuals adapt to this by gradually adding pillows or transitioning to sleep in chairs without recognizing the significance of this change. Family members sometimes notice this adaptation before the affected person does. If you find yourself naturally gravitating towards sleeping in a more upright position, this symptom deserves medical attention, as it can significantly impact your health through sleep deprivation. Next, sign number 7, sudden weight gain. Here's the warning sign that's often the most dramatic yet overlooked: rapid weight gain that appears without changes in eating habits. We're discussing gaining 2 to 3 pounds in a single day or 5 pounds within a week, not gradual weight changes over months. Weight gain can occur with heart failure, and this weight represents fluid retention, not fat accumulation. When your heart cannot pump effectively, your kidneys receive decreased blood flow and respond by retaining sodium and water, mistakenly interpreting this as dehydration. This creates a dangerous cycle where your body retains increasing amounts of fluid, forcing your heart to work even harder. The challenging aspect is that this fluid retention doesn't always manifest as obvious swelling initially. Fluid might accumulate in your abdomen, around organs, or distribute throughout your body in less visible ways. You might notice clothes fitting differently, belts feeling tighter, or rings becoming difficult to remove without obvious overeating. Many people blame rapid weight gain on overeating, hormonal changes, or seasonal factors, and might begin restrictive dieting or feel guilty about their eating habits. However, unexplained rapid weight gain, especially accompanied by other symptoms we've discussed, represents a critical early warning requiring immediate medical attention. Next, sign number 8, loss of appetite and nausea. Changes in appetite and persistent nausea might seem unrelated to heart problems, but they're common early heart failure indicators often attributed to other causes. When your heart pumps inefficiently, blood flow to your digestive system decreases, causing various uncomfortable symptoms. You might notice foods you typically enjoy no longer appeal to you, or you feel satisfied after eating just small amounts. Some people experience persistent nausea, particularly after eating, or general queasiness unrelated to specific foods consumed. This occurs because your digestive organs aren't receiving adequate blood flow for optimal function. Additionally, if fluid accumulates in your abdomen, it creates pressure that makes eating uncomfortable and contributes to nausea and early satiety. Many people, especially seniors, dismiss these symptoms as normal aging, medication side effects, or stress-related digestive issues. Some even welcome resulting weight loss, not realizing it could indicate a serious underlying condition. The concerning aspect is that poor nutrition can worsen heart failure, creating another dangerous cycle where inadequate nutrition makes it more difficult for your cardiovascular system to function properly. Next, sign number 9, confusion or impaired thinking. This might be our most surprising warning sign: changes in mental clarity, memory, or cognitive function. In seniors, atypical presentation of heart failure is much more common than in younger patients. When your heart doesn't pump efficiently, your brain, which requires approximately 20% of your body's blood supply, doesn't receive adequate oxygen and nutrients. You might experience difficulty concentrating on previously manageable tasks, short-term memory problems, or general mental fogginess. Some people describe thinking through a haze or feeling their mind isn't as sharp as usual. Family members often notice these changes before you do, commenting that you seem more confused than usual, repeat yourself more frequently, or have trouble following conversations or making decisions that were once straightforward. The dangerous assumption is attributing these cognitive changes to normal aging, stress, depression, or early dementia. While these conditions can cause similar symptoms, when cognitive changes relate to heart failure, they often improve significantly once heart failure receives proper treatment. This is particularly important because cognitive changes can affect your ability to manage health, take medications correctly, or recognize other symptoms. Next, sign number 10, decreased exercise tolerance. Our final warning sign connects to where we began, but with specific focus: a noticeable decrease in your ability to exercise or be physically active at your accustomed level. This extends beyond normal age-related changes and represents a significant shift in your physical capabilities occurring over weeks or months rather than years. You might discover that activities you've always enjoyed, gardening, walking your dog, playing with grandchildren, or dancing, now leave you feeling exhausted, breathless, or uncomfortable. The key indicator is rapid change rather than gradual decline over years. Some people notice they can begin activities feeling normal but fatigue much more quickly than previously. Others find they automatically avoid physical activities they once loved or make excuses to avoid situations requiring physical exertion. The heartbreaking reality is that many people interpret this as getting old and begin limiting activities, thinking this represents natural aging. They might withdraw from social activities, stop exercising, or avoid situations where their decreased physical capacity might be noticed. However, when exercise intolerance relates to heart failure, appropriate treatment often can restore much of your previous activity level and quality of life. Next, when to seek medical attention. Understanding when to seek medical attention is crucial. You don't need multiple symptoms or severe manifestations before consulting your healthcare provider. Even one of these signs, especially if it's new or worsening, warrants medical discussion. Seek immediate medical attention for sudden, severe shortness of breath, chest pain, rapid weight gain exceeding 3 pounds in 24 hours, or difficulty breathing when lying down. These could indicate rapidly progressing heart failure requiring immediate intervention. For other symptoms, schedule medical appointments within days to a week. Don't postpone until your next routine visit if you're experiencing any discussed signs. Many people hesitate to bother their doctor with seemingly minor symptoms, but early heart failure detection can be life-saving. When consulting your healthcare provider, be specific about symptoms. Consider maintaining a symptom diary for several days, noting when symptoms occur, triggering factors, and how they affect daily activities. This information helps your doctor assess your situation accurately. After a diagnosis, make your doctor aware of any changes to your symptoms. Remember, advocating for your health represents responsibility and proactivity about maintaining your quality of life, not hypochondria. Next, treatment and hope perspective. Before concluding, I want to emphasize something crucial. Heart failure diagnosis is not a death sentence. Investigators made major strides in developing strategies to reduce heart failure-related events and deaths in 2024 research. Modern medicine has achieved remarkable advances in heart failure treatment, and many diagnosed individuals live full, active lives for many years. Treatment options include medications helping your heart pump more efficiently, reduce fluid accumulation, and protect your heart from further damage. Lifestyle modifications, including dietary changes, appropriate exercise programs, and weight management, can significantly improve symptoms and outcomes. In certain cases, devices like pacemakers or procedures improving blood flow create dramatic quality of life improvements. While there is no cure for heart failure, medications, lifestyle changes, and surgical options can alleviate symptoms and help patients lead an active life. The most critical factor in successful treatment is early detection and intervention. Each day, heart failure remains unrecognized and untreated. Your heart works harder and potentially sustains additional damage. However, when identified early, treatments often can halt or reverse some changes that have occurred. Many viewers have shared stories of how recognizing these early signs led to treatments providing years of active, fulfilling life they might not have experienced otherwise. Let's review these 10 life-saving warning signs. Shortness of breath during normal activities, persistent fatigue and weakness, swelling in legs or ankles, rapid or irregular heartbeat, persistent cough or wheezing, difficulty sleeping flat, sudden weight gain, loss of appetite and nausea, confusion or impaired thinking, and decreased exercise tolerance. The most important message: you know your body better than anyone else. If something feels wrong, if you're experiencing concerning changes, or if any symptoms sound familiar, don't dismiss them as just getting older. Your health instincts are valuable and deserve medical attention. Take action today. If you're experiencing any symptoms, contact your healthcare provider. If you lack a regular doctor, establish that relationship. Your life and quality of life merit the time and effort required for proper medical evaluation and care. Share this video with friends and family over 60. You might help someone recognize symptoms they've been ignoring or dismissing. Early heart failure recognition can add years to someone's life and life to their years. If this information proved helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more health information that could make a genuine difference in your life. Your heart has served you faithfully for